wherever you feel any resistance in your life at all right now, whenever the chance is that you learn to let go, release, maybe it's releasing past thoughts. You are holding on to past experiences that you wish were different. You're lingering on past regrets, or your mind may be stuck on future thoughts. So you're stuck on what's going to happen when this happens. This change is coming and I'm anxious about it. The future certainly doesn't serve us because the future doesn't exist yet. Our mind is a vessel for imagination and creativity. We keep on thinking and creating past thoughts, right? They circulate in our mind, and our mind is the blueprint for the future. So if you keep on lingering on past thoughts, of course your past is going to keep catching up to you, because of course you're going to keep thinking that you're in a loop, because you end up manifesting your own fears. That may be a deeper dive into something that you haven't thought of yet, but step into the leadership role or the chosen role, whatever you need to let go of or step into in order to manifest the joy that is on the other side of the loneliness. Hey y'all, welcome back to Holistic Flow. I am your girl Lolo, and today I got a good one for y'all today, guys. I finally have a part 2 to the video that I did a year ago, this time last year, called Why You Don't Have Friends and You Don't Fit In. Ever since I posted that video, y'all, so many people have been commenting, sharing their stories, saying that they can relate to everything that I was talking about in that video, and even expressing how some of the things I was saying really hit home. And I want to come from a different mindset than I was. If you haven't seen the first video on my channel titled Why You Don't Have Any Friends and Don't Fit In, go watch that one. It got 21,000 views. That's still one of the most highly viewed videos on my channel. So if you're new to the channel, or if you just haven't seen it yet, definitely go watch it. Let's go ahead and get into the video, y'all. But before we get into it, if you are new here to my channel, hello. Here in Holistic Flow, we are creating a safe space, a space for self-love, self-growth, and maturity. And we're taking a journey towards an overall better mind, body, and spirit connection. So if y'all with that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notifications so you know whenever I upload a new video. If you have done that, thank you so much. And let's get into this video. So by a show of hands, how many of you feel alone in your life right now? You in the back there. I see you all the way in the back. I got something for you today. All right, you can put your hands down. So I want to distinguish between being alone in your life and then feeling lonely, because those are two different things. You could be surrounded by people. You could have 15 brothers and sisters and you live with them all. You could have a group or like a clique that you hang out with. Or even if you are in school, like when you're walking down the hallway, people say hi and bye to you. Like everybody knows you, right? However, you feel alone. That's an indication that you're not alone physically, but you feel lonely. Maybe possibly if this is your situation, maybe you'd rather be at least around, like surrounded by people. If you're gonna feel lonely, maybe at least you'd rather be surrounded by individuals who might possibly be able to fill some type of void. On the other hand, you could be physically alone, nobody around you. Despite not having many people to fill the gaps in your life physically, you don't feel lonely, but you're alone. You see the difference? One feels physical and another is more so mental and or spiritual. In my life, very recently, I kept on feeling like I was stuck in a loop. And the loop kind of went something like this. I didn't really have friends to talk to. Maybe it was like in between summers. And all of a sudden I will start at a new school or start at a new job or start in a new club organization. And whatever environment I was in, I gained a couple friends. Most people who we would consider friends, they're people who have similar interests, right? And even when I was in the type of spaces to have friends that I could relate to, shortly after I would gain a friend, either one party or the other cut each other off or stop speaking. My personal interests or clubs or hobbies would change, and so I was no longer in the same environment to have similar interests because I had different interests. Or third, it would just simply be a falling out for no reason. There doesn't always have to be a reason for you to have a falling out with somebody. Sometimes when both parties don't communicate, it just fades away and you both move on with your lives. Throughout my life, it has been a continuous cycle of me meeting new people, thinking that possibly they would stay in my life for a long period of time. And every time that I suffered a quote unquote loss, it was pretty painful to me. There became a time in my life where I was closed off to the idea of even having friends or having anybody close to me, because I was so sure in my mind that there would come a time before I was ready for them to exit out of my life, because the seasons were just moving so quickly. And that is what led to my loneliness. I was not physically isolated, I mentally isolated myself. Also, throughout my entire life, this has been something that's certainly consistent. I just simply naturally did not fit in. I was not the person who could hang with the crowd, do all the thing, party with the crowd, go to the club with the crowd. In many instances, when I was still in grade school, I felt like I was the friend that got chosen the last to hang out with the group. They thought of me as kind of the innocent one, the holier than thou one, and maybe possibly I would be the party pooper and disapprove of many of the things that they were doing. And a lot of times they wasn't wrong. That was probably the type of person that I was. But in hindsight, the periods of isolation that I had to go through, like extreme isolation, was what made me into where I am today. And the very thing that I'm doing today is a catalyst of all the times that people saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, or I wanted to deny within myself. But the thing that I was denying was the very thing that was going to set me free in the first place. There was an evident reason that it's like everybody else could see but me, why I was rejected from people. They say people's rejection is God's protection, right? Not that other people aren't protected, not that other people aren't chosen to step up and receive what their higher power or their higher self is telling them that they need to do in their life. But it's simply, you have a different path, and we can ask God to direct our path and guide our path and everything like that. But the other half, or the other whatever percent, is literally within our own hands to bring into fruition. And we want to be in a position to listen to that. When you're in a position where you are not surrounded by a friend group, you're not out there hanging out, partying, going out, you're not out there maybe even in relationships, what's happening is that you're not being influenced by other human beings' perceptions of what life should be. The media portrays life as certain trends. And if you consume media a lot, it may be possible that you're a little bit blindsided to the influence that mass thinking can have on just one individual. When something goes viral on Twitter, it's not because if you looked at it, you would think it's funny. It's because when you looked at it, you saw how many retweets that it got, and you saw how many comments and ha-ha-has it got from other people. And because other people think it's hilarious, you also think it's hilarious. Now, this is the general rule of thumb. I mean, you might think that it's actually hilarious, but generally, there are some really dumb, random things that go viral for no reason. And you're like, yo, why did this get viral? I don't know, but I still find it funny, right? Retweet. And that is exactly how influence works. And when you are the most isolated from the general human population, you have the most power to take your life into your own hands because you have the least influence from other people's ways of thinking and other people's minds. The whole idea of being in a group setting or being in a clique or being even in a club organization is to get with people who have similar ways of thinking. You know, forget the interests right now. Everybody in that group or that clique or that squad, they have a similar way of thinking, acting, talking, behaving, that when you get a part of that group, all the people in the group sum up who you are. So I have felt firsthand the pain and the toll mentally and even physically that it has taken on me in the past, feeling lonely, being surrounded physically by people, but continuing to feel lonely. And sometimes we do it to ourselves. However, either way you put it, all who do feel lonely are in the position, we are in the position right now to be the best versions of ourselves in this point in time, in this season, while you have this opportunity. I took that opportunity and it was the best thing that I could have ever done for myself because I listened to what my assignment was at the time. And you have an assignment. Just listen to it. There's this video of Erykah Badu, and I'll insert the clip right here.
There's a philosophy that says 85% of the people on the planet are followers. 10% of the people on the planet are creators or leaders, and 5% of the people are observers. So when you got 85% of the people who are willing to follow, the 10% who are able to create something are going to capitalize off of that, and the 5% are usually the ones who are assassinated or shunned or discredited because they can see everything that's going on. And they would ruin it all for the 10%. So the reason why it's so easy to do that is because people are willing to be led. I mean, it's just, in my experience, the way life works. You know, you just follow your heart, you know, and it doesn't matter what people think you should be doing, or you follow your heart right from the start. Nothing should be able to infiltrate that for us as women.
If you relate to that little percent that she was talking about, it's like you're handpicked by God himself. And one of the reasons why it hurts so bad when we try to fit in is because we are a star block trying to fit into a circle. So you know them little kids' toys? It has these shape cutouts in them. So we are all stars, right? What happens when we try to fit in inside the box of the general public's way of thinking? We are a star block trying to fit our way into the ideology of a circle or of a square. We're meant to lead, and that's just your path, either way you put it. And honestly, most of the agony stops when you stop resisting that path. The more resistance that you give your own higher self, the more it will feel painful and the more it will feel lonely. To everyone who commented that you understand what I was saying in the video, but that doesn't take away the fact that you still feel this feeling. You still feel lonely, or you still feel rejected. The loneliness feeling and the rejection feelings, they ease up when you don't reject it. When you actually listen to the calling of your higher self, because you realize that you're not just made up of who you think you are right now. None of us are meant to walk this journey alone. So when you listen more, and when you embrace the season of isolation, is when you find the other parts of yourself. Your inner guide that talks to you every single day gives you more self-awareness. And the season of isolation that you're in right now is so you can develop exactly that companionship with yourself. Like literally being your own best friend, which a lot of people still struggle with that and don't even really know what that means, which is okay. Loving yourself. A lot of people don't know what that means, but that's okay, because that's what the season is in. And so we're resisting all of that. We're literally resisting our self-growth. And when you stop resisting that, like wherever you feel any resistance in your life at all right now, whenever the chance is that you learn to let go, release, maybe it's releasing past thoughts, maybe it's releasing future thoughts. The thing is, most of us, our consciousness, like our state of mind and our state of thinking, is either set in the past, so you are holding on to past experiences that you wish were different. You're lingering on past regrets, or your mind may be stuck on future thoughts. So you're stuck on what's going to happen when this happens. This change is coming and I'm anxious about it. Focusing and lingering on the past, which again is over here, past thoughts, everything in the past has literally, we have transcended the past. We have evolved the past. I said in the beginning of this video, we change and evolve every single day. Think about the person and the mindset that you were in this time last year. You're not the same, right? That's because our past literally doesn't serve us anymore. So everything that we're thinking or lingering about in the past, we have to let go. Same with the future thoughts. The future certainly doesn't serve us because the future doesn't exist yet. Our mind is a vessel for imagination and creativity. Everything, every physical thing that we've seen in our life is created in our mind first. So our mind is literally the blueprint for the reality that we see in our face. If we continue to, in our mind, create up facades about the future, we will start manifesting our fears. Our past will catch up to us because we keep on thinking and creating past thoughts, right? They circulate in our mind, and our mind is the blueprint for the future. So if you keep on lingering on past thoughts, of course your past is going to keep catching up to you, because of course you're going to keep thinking that you're in a loop, because you end up manifesting your own fears. The future does not exist yet. It hasn't even happened. The only thing that is real and true is the present moment. That may be a deeper dive into something that you haven't thought of yet, but those may be some of the things that need to happen before you actually are in a mindset to step into the leadership role or the chosen role, whatever you need to let go of or step into in order to manifest the joy that is on the other side of the loneliness. And when I found that, it was around the time when I created my YouTube channel, and that's one of the main things that I wanted to help people do, is find joy in their aloneness, not their loneliness. Because your aloneness, you can be alone physically, but not lonely. And when you find a way to be physically alone without being lonely, that's when you really have found your joy, because you don't need anybody else physically or any other physical thing or object to feel joyful. All those things may make you feel happy, but happiness is fleeting and it's temporary. Joy, nobody ever gives you joy and nobody can ever take it away. That's why it's yours, and it's created within your own self. And I believe it's from God himself as well. God is also within us. Step into that 10%. Two main reasons that I did not touch in my original video of why you may not have friends are maybe a little bit difficult to realize, but the first one is that you may not feel like you deserve friends. You may not feel like you have anything to offer other people who come in your life. You may feel like you're not exciting enough. Possibly, have other people told you that? Maybe yes, maybe no. If yes, well, what do you think about it? Like, what do you think about yourself? And literally your own view of yourself is your own blueprint of your reality. And that's why being your own friend is the goal of your isolation in the first place, because you need to be isolated from people who put negative ideas inside of your head. Or you may not feel like you deserve to have friends because you feel like you've done so many wrong things in the past that you can't forgive yourself for. Or possibly you may feel like you're a bad person or you're not a good person. I learned something recently, and it's that I don't believe in bad people or good people. They're just people who do dumb things and bad things, and some people do it more than others. Here's what it is: your thoughts breed your reality. So whatever you think of over and over and over again will soon be your actions, and whatever you do over and over and over again will be your lifestyle, your way of life. So what is your mind saying about what you're doing? Is your mindset breeding your actions? And if so, change your mindset. Guess what? You're not your thoughts. So if you're not your thoughts, you're not your actions, you're simply a human being whose thoughts come from you, whose actions come from you. But one of the main things we need to do to heal is to detach our thoughts from who we are as a core person. Every single person on this human earth has had something to forgive somebody else for, or has done somebody else wrong. None of those things that we've ever done define a person. None of those things. And that's honestly another reason why becoming your own friend and developing your own relationship with yourself is important, because then you'll learn how to forgive yourself and how to move forward from those things. And I think that's why God created this philosophy, or the saying, that all sins are created equal. All human wrongs are created equal. Now, in our human mind, we ourselves have created this hierarchy that a lie is a little white lie, but killing someone is god awful. Stealing, it's okay to steal once in a while, but like marrying someone of the same gender is the worst thing ever. It's humans that have created this hierarchy. Like, it's humans who have created this way of like not forgiving ourselves. We think of so many ways to not forgive ourselves because we put ourselves in shackles. At the end of the day, we do it to ourselves. But what's the point of forgiveness if we're gonna make a hierarchy that what we've done is just too bad to forgive ourselves? There's people who have forgiven us more than we've forgiven ourselves. We just gotta let it go. And then another reason why you may not have friends that I didn't touch in my other video is that you don't think other people deserve your friendship. This is the ego mind talking now, that because you may be in a higher level of thinking, maybe on a higher consciousness, maybe they don't deserve to be with you, or they don't deserve to be your friend. Everybody is the same. Everybody thinks the same. Everybody acts the same. Everybody wants to drink and smoke. Everybody wants to party and go to the club. I don't do that. I'm better. Or you may not say that you're better, but it's in the way that you come across. And this is the idea, right? That we do it to ourselves. I did it to myself. Sometimes I did have the perception that I didn't deserve other friends just because of things that I've done to people, or things that I didn't even realize that I was bad at in friendships. And then other times there was the ideology that I was up here, everybody else was down there. But if you always have that perception, then how are you going to ever connect with people? Either way you put it, if you feel like you don't deserve friends, you're going to be down here. You're going to put other people up here. If the other way around, if you feel like other people don't deserve to be your friend, you're always going to be up here. Other people are always going to be down there. You are literally doing it to yourself, to where you're closing yourself off from any type of human interaction or connection. And we may do that as a coping mechanism because we fear that we'll never be able to find somebody to relate to either way. So we might as well just close ourselves off from the possibility of even having a connection by adopting that mindset. But one of the most important agents of change is awareness. Become aware of the mindsets that you have adopted about yourself. How do you feel about yourself, and how do you think about yourself, and your ability to supersede these ways of thinking? All in all, being in isolation, for some, it is a season. For others, it may simply be your life. But whatever it is, having less resistance to what you don't know is waiting for you yet is the best way to go. We have to be open to receiving something better than what we have now. Or else, if our hands are always closed, how are we going to ever get something in them? This supplements part 1. So again, if you have never seen part 1, go back and watch it. I promise you, you will get something out of it, because everybody that has commented on the first one has been so like insightful as well. As always, if you have any video requests of anything that you want to see in another video, or maybe something I said in this video that was a nugget that you want to comment down below for other people to take with you, or if you have a video suggestion, let me know in the comments down below. Put it all in the comments. And I hope to see you in my next video. Subscribe for more. And until then, I'm sending peace your way, love your way, and joy to you, your family, and your friends. All right, y'all. Peace.